why we couldn't,
Yes.
or something. And we were all talking like this.
I don't know if you. Yeah, I know.
Hey, you two, why are you two acting so strangely?
Yeah.
Welcome to Inferno TV.
Hello.
Good. It's a hockey show, more specifically about the Cardiff Devils. So let us begin. Should we do a rundown of what we're going to do?
Yeah.
We're going to say. We're going to start off talking about the rink update, where it'll be a massive insight, as it was last week, but nobody saw it because the sound wasn't good, and it wasn't a good insight anyway.
It's kind of insight out to the view of your window.
It was.
Yeah.
Actually, no, not quite.
No?
No, I'm sneaking up to the 7th floor to have a really good view from up there. Problem is, there's only about 3 flats on that floor, so if I get seen up there, they're going to think, who's this guy?
That's right, isn't it?
If we hear you've been
you're
arrested, we won't worry about it.
And then we're going to talk about the game, the successful game that we played last week. One game, Saturday it was, and we won. It was nice. And then some other information about that. We're playing the Blaze on Thursday.
Who is he?
Who is this guy?
Where's Aled? What are you doing with him?
It's late, the wrong day. Playing Coventry Blaze on Thursday, which will be tomorrow, I suspect, won't it?
I'd imagine so.
Tomorrow.
That's a massive game.
Through the magic of TV.
Massive game.
Yep.
Few GB stuff to talk about. Obviously, it's a bit more to do with the Blaze, with the fact that their coach has been fired, and then we'll just talk about some other results maybe, and then
Bit about the Olympics maybe.
About the Olympics as
And then
which has got underway with the men's tournament today, and the women's tournament already underway, and it's pretty good.
Well, assuming today is Wednesday.
Yeah, well, it's not going out today, is it? This.
No.
So yeah.
No, I'm confused.
Paul Chris is going to have a long day. So to begin with, the rink update. John,
Yes.
what do you think? You
I-
saw some of it as well.
I drove past today, and there was definitely a digger driving around, and there's definitely more happening on the site than there was last week. I'm just glad to see progress. I suspect you've seen more than me, Aled, because you live by it.
Yeah, that digger's been working fair play. I feel a bit for it. If it had a personality like they do in Thomas the Tank Engine, I feel really bad for that digger. It needs somewhere to go and stay.
If
the weather's been horrendous.
If we sneak in, we could put some googly eyes on it.
Yeah.
Immediately, it's got a character then, isn't it?
That would be brilliant.
Yeah.
And then we can give it a name, and we can be very sad then when he leaves, or comes to the end of his time.
But I think you said they'd put some hoardings up.
Something happening. There's pictures now on the hoarding, so I'm going to try and get a photo of myself there as I did when the hoardings went up initially. That'll be fun.
Okay.
And there's actually pictures of the ice arena. It doesn't just say about how all the new flats and everything.
Any Devils logos on there yet? Or?
I haven't seen one, but I only drove past. But there was pictures of the arena, so that is exciting.
Yep.
Ice Arena Wales branded across it. I saw somebody having a look at it today as well.
Oh, good.
Exciting. But also there were 2 vehicles on. There's some sort of thing going on with a van and people as well. And now there's some sort of new sort of plastic fencing-y thing that had obviously been brought on by a new vehicle I hadn't seen before. So there's been a new vehicle on site today. Very exciting. Everyone
3 vehicles, isn't it?
On Thursday. Yeah, 3 vehicles that were on site, and a few people as well. So
Well, there's definitely something happening there, which is
this is the exciting
progress.
Thing.
definitely a lot.
Things happening.
Yeah, definitely a lot happening. Very exciting.
Bit worried about the plastic. You're saying putting plastic.
Well, you know,
it's not new walls, is it? It's not kind of it's not.
I think
it's a bigger tent.
in a homage to the big battle tent, they're making a new building out of plastic as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Not.
No.
Yeah.
They won't
Will
be,
that
folks.
Be a twin path?
It's probably just stop the mud and everything going everywhere, isn't it? I'd imagine.
Yeah, perhaps
Probably
so.
some
I'm not sure.
Some sort of building thing.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to?
Yes.
That was exciting anyway. Yeah.
Our match.
Also exciting.
Yeah.
In the current rink.
Yes.
It was very nice, Aled.
Well,
We played Dundee on the weekend.
We did.
They've been riding high in the league. They came in with some injury problems, but still, you still know you're in for a tough game against a quality side like that with an excellent netminder and some really good players there. Guys like Rawlick and Will, to name a couple, but unfortunately, both Rawlick and Will were injured during the game.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, I have to say, I thought it was a little more even the game than perhaps a lot of people did. I think we had most of the possession.
It was more even the game in Scotland.
In the first period, they were threatening. I thought Kozowski again kept us sort of kept.
Yeah.
Not they were on top, but they had a lot of good goals.
They had more go forward, certainly.
Yeah. And as soon as Rawlick left the game, all the transition, the power play went to pieces, didn't it?
It was bad.
Yeah. They had a lot of options as well, didn't they, with the power play? I mean,
We did talk about that, didn't we? When we were talking about it during the game.
Yeah.
That their power play was falling apart.
Yeah. But I mean that coincided, didn't it? With Wirral obviously is a big loss as I think Rawley is like obviously their team that relies
I'll
on
admit, I
him.
hadn't noticed Will leaving the game.
You haven't.
No, I hadn't noticed.
Well,
But Rollick,
I noticed Will put a big chase in on an icing call at one point. I don't know if that was at the point where he injured himself. He'd gone the full length of the ice flat out, and I think that may have been the point where he was injured, because after that, and unfortunately after that, they just lacked
I felt
direction.
Like he could have possibly gone on and put, perhaps scored more.
Probably,
He looked fairly comfortable, didn't he?
the rest of the guys that were on the ice and their netminder, they fought bravely, considering, because they were really up against it. It was like half a team basically by then.
They were already down 2 in port.
That's right. They were already key players down.
one guy walking out.
Yeah.
So
And I don't think he wanted to get injured. He didn't really put himself into that game like others we've seen with him. So
six players they've lost within sort of a week or so of the transfer deadline.
I know they brought another guy in, but he isn't the quality of the guys, unfortunately, that they're losing. And at this time of year, it is difficult to find real quality to bring in. So all we can say really is, good luck to Dundee and getting yourselves back together and on the run in towards the end of the season.
It's unfortunate, but it happens, doesn't it? I mean,
It's happened to us
a number of times.
Yeah, it's happened to
Belfast
Coventry
2
during the
years ago.
season. It's happened to Sheffield and Panthers.
Yep.
If they don't manage to replace all of those players, have they done enough to get in the playoffs, or are they going to punt it now?
Well, at the moment they have, but I don't know how long they can maintain their position.
I think they're going to win. They're going to win games, aren't they? They're going to between now and the end of the season. They're going to win some games.
They'll battle. They've also got a netminder who can win them some games, and I'm sure Rawley will be back as quick as he can.
I'd imagine they've got enough points now to keep themselves off, off ninth place.
Yeah, the question is whether Fife can catch them really, and they're quite a distance behind at the moment.
I think the gap is.
The gap is big
We've been in eighth
with the number of games left.
We've been in eighth for most of the season, so we keep an eye on the gap, and far way behind now.
But Fife quite fancy catching Coventry, don't they? Who are
They do.
opponents,
They're going to have a good go at it until the end of the season, and fair play to them, because that is what they need to be doing. They had a win on the weekend against Dundee, and they're going to keep going after it. And whenever you go to Fife, that you're always in for a battle. So if those guys can win their home games and can win more on the road, you don't know what's going to happen between now and the end of the season. Obviously, Blaze have had a bit of unrest there, and
perhaps we got that in the wrong order there. Should we talk about the Soderstrom being fired first, and then discuss the game after?
Well, it's going to have a massive impact on it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what do you think about that?
well, Matty was a great servant to the Blaze, and he's a very honourable guy. He's one of the good guys in hockey. Unfortunately,
is he too nice? Is that the problem with Matty? He's
I think not
a guy that's going to sort of be shouting at the bench and.
Well, there's definitely a problem there. I felt like there was a bit of a lack of respect, because he's a great guy, and there's very capable guys on paper playing in that team, but not performing as a team. There was a bit of disrespect I felt at the beginning of the season when some of the guys turned up unfit. Yeah. For me, I didn't like to see that. I was hoping Soderstrom would get off to a good start. Yeah. I feel he's been let down by some of his players.
This is the player that lost teeth in a game and came back on with a face mask saying you don't play hockey with teeth. All power to the guy. He cares about the Blaze.
Yeah. Ultimately, unfortunately, he's going to carry the rap for.
Has he been given a fair chance though? Like, we've talked about in sport you get a bounce off a new coach, but then actually in the long run, quite often it can tend to get worse. Before we get into discussing the new coach and everything, but he hasn't been given a whole season yet. He's a big part of that club. Really, is it a fair chance if you're given less than 2 seasons?
I know the fans were unhappy, and the fans are shouting and saying they're not going to be renewing their season ticket. I mean,
I don't think Blaze had much choice really. They're a proud club with a proud heritage, and unfortunately
they're not far off second. We're not far off second. Between second and eighth in this league at the moment, there's like sort of 6-8 points.
No, but they've been falling fast lately. They haven't been winning enough games, and they've been putting in bad performances. I think that's where the issue lies. You can't go to games, and you can't go and beat Panthers one weekend, and then beat Chronic the next weekend. No. That can't happen.
Every side is doing that in the league. Panthers smashed Steelers, didn't they, and then lost the whole night after.
But I think if you're going to lose, you've got to lose by still giving 100% effort. But the feedback from a lot of their fans was the guys weren't giving the 100% effort on the ice.
Posting it in and not really.
So has he carried the can for the players?
Well, you know, there's a bit of both going on. I would think you've got a
job
young
to motivate
coach.
them, isn't it? Really, I mean, he's the guy that's got to be there, and he's got to be making sure they give 100%. And yeah, he's going to have to carry the can for that. Now, obviously,
it's difficult though, isn't it? Like, perhaps it is down to performance, but like you say, 6 points off second. That's a lot closer to second than they were last year.
Yeah.
Well, they could have been third in the league and 6 points off, and everyone would have been happy.
Mark's come in and he's saying nobody's untouchable. If they don't perform, they're out. And that probably is the message they need to hear.
Are we screwed on tomorrow then?
I think they'll play better tomorrow. I don't know if they'll play well enough to beat us. I think that Ben Olsen's been a massive loss for them this season. Yeah. He's a leader on the ice for them. I don't think they would have played as badly if Ben had been around all season.
He wears fine bow ties off the ice. Let's not forget.
He's just he's such a leader for them on the ice. Yeah. And I think he's a leader for them on the bench. And I think, you know, unfortunately for Matt, he lost that, having that guy who stands up and leads them. And the other guys, they haven't stood up and for him.
Supposed to have leaders there, though, aren't they?
They have.
Like Guthrie's come back, and well, I haven't seen him play, but like the Blaze fans are saying he's not the same player.
He's real.
Points-wise, he's nowhere near.
No, he is real quality. Someone's got to light the spark again in him, because there's a problem there. Because he isn't going to be rubbish overnight, because he's quality.
He's come in and he said that no one's untouchable at this stage in the season. Is that true? I mean, are they going to be able to make any massive changes with their side?
Well, the difficulty will be who can you bring in at this stage in the season?
Well, I suppose it's only been a few weeks ago. We've had some fairly major changes, so it's possible.
True. Yeah.
There are people out there, but it's going to have to be
quick. It becomes more difficult going to the playoffs, trying to get a team to play as a team and get your lines right if you're going to change a lot of people, in fairness. Yeah. So, good luck to him.
Is there still eligibility as far as things like the playoff is concerned? You've got to play so many games. That used to be the case, didn't it?
Probably.
I seem to remember Ray-Jean Stranger came in and he had to play so many games.
Well, the other thing is that the cut-off must be coming up very soon as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's changed because of the Olympics.
Yeah,
but it's still coming up soon.
Which is going to limit what he can do. Yeah. But on paper, he's got a very good squad there. So I think it's a case of trying to get that squad to work as much as anything. For me, I think if you're going to change anybody, it would probably only be one or two guys. I don't think you can have a massive wholesale change personally. I think it's too late for that. Yeah. Moving on from that, we've got the GB call-ups as our next thing. I think is that right? Am I in the right section?
Well, should we just? I mean, Thursday.
Talk about the game.
Yeah. Do we fancy a win Thursday?
Yeah.
I think we got the motivation.
We got momentum. Yeah. Winning becomes a habit, and we've definitely got the winning habit at the moment. And our guys believe they can win against everybody. Yeah. We saw that against Belfast. They performed against Belfast. I think they'll go up and perform against Blaze.
We didn't lose against Belfast. I mean,
we look a real team at the moment, don't we? And
we do.
I love the balance we have as well with the personnel that's been recruited.
Yeah.
As well,
Faulkner's a new man. I'd have to say that Faulkner is a new man. He looks a different guy out on the ice. He's his head's up. He's playing out of his skin again, as we know he can. And with guys like Kirk around you, why wouldn't you? And they know in Kozowski they've got an able guy at the back to back them up.
Well, I tell you, I mean, that's the goaltending situation. I think you can never say you can't ever not back us to have a chance in the game with Kozowski.
He's proved himself and he's getting better and better. I mean, there's a lot of concern and criticism when Cook went.
Yeah.
Because Cook looked like Cook was an exciting guy to watch.
Yeah, Cook did a good job for us as well.
I think in a year or so he's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But Kozowski's proved himself now, and he really.
There's no surprise he's an international netminder.
He's allowing us to win games, isn't he?
Yeah. And he
is he still on the international team, or is he at the moment? Do we know? I mean, because we're in the same. They're in our group, aren't they? Poland. I was wondering whether
we'll have to nobble him.
Yeah. End of the season comes, we'll
have to do something.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be good Thursday though. It should be a good atmosphere, I think.
Lovely guy, Kozowski.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you really got to watch his warm up if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like he looks like a circus act. Have you seen him off the ice doing his warm up?
Has he got? I haven't really noticed. Has he got a routine he goes through? Like
yeah.
Ozer's routine.
He's got a specific routine he does. Yeah, and it's well worth watching.
What was the guy from Edinburgh? He had Pazzi. Pazzi, right? And he had the best routine.
Oh, yeah.
He did the Pazzi dance. So shimmy himself into the net.
He was the lad who was a little bit large, wasn't
he?
But had a very big heart.
He was robust.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it helped the goalie.
Wasn't he the one who came back for them?
Yeah, he retired.
And he came back for them. I was there when he came back.
That's right. Yeah.
Put on a real performance. Yeah. I liked him. Good guy. Those are the guys you need around you in your team, and that's what I feel Blaze have lacked a bit. Mm-hmm. Is guys who'll kill themselves out there for you, and that's what you need. And I think Kozłowski is.
Sorry, it's not a vision of
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
committing
we're
suicide.
not recommending suicide. I think guys like Kozłowski and to be fair, everybody on our team at the moment are guys who would give their they'd give their all for you.
Mhm.
They love their jersey, they love the badge, and that's what they're playing for. And you see that with the pride.
I thought the atmosphere on Saturday is the best I've heard it. Like, I thought it was amazing. It felt like a playoff game.
It was noisy. It was noisy.
And
really good.
I thought those
Tempo was
all the youngsters who came down from Dufferin School, they did what a fantastic job they did.
It's always louder when you got the kids in.
They had a great what a great night.
Dundee fans there,
And
brilliant.
yeah, there was Dundee the travel club came down and they brought their huge jersey. Thank you very much. It was great to see them. They were all very pleasant. Unfortunately, they didn't have a lot to cheer, but they sang all night. So fair play to them.
I was very impressed as well with Faulkner at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Spending
A lot of
quite
time.
a long time signing everything for the
Yeah.
the school
Didn't go
kids.
to the dressing room.
Yeah,
He stayed out there with the kids.
which is nice to see.
I did put a picture up of that. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, I put a picture up
Oh,
of it.
it was on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
What is it? Should we put your at Batraven?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a picture of Faulkner with all the kids. So that was great to see. And hopefully that Dufferin School will be back down again before the end of the season. So thanks
Brilliant.
for coming.
So,
GB call-ups.
GB call-up.
Yeah,
Sorry, we were
we
there
should-
and then I took it away.
That's all right.
Exciting. Josh Batch gets his first one. I think that's well deserved. Personally.
Well done, Josh.
They're
I thought
very
he had his
excited.
best game this season against Dundee, personally.
He was great.
I thought he had a very good game. He's really starting to buy into the new defensive method, I think, and it looks like it's suiting him.
But he's going to be. Well, it was interesting actually because he did play a few shifts on D, didn't he?
He
as
did.
well?
He played both. I noticed that.
That was quite interesting.
He's-
I started at forward.
He's down as D for the call-up, though, isn't
He
he?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he got.
But I mean, I suspect he'll play more shifts as a forward than on D. Now Richie's back, obviously, unless we, because we went with 5 D to start that game, even without Gifters, didn't we? So, but it'd be interesting though.
It's nice to see you've got like 4 players as well
Yeah.
on the call-up list. And
Myers,
that's with Hill having gone. We've still got 4 players because
Yeah.
historically, the Devils have been you've had Hill and that's it. sort
Well,
of.
you could never leave Myers out because he's outstanding
Mhm.
as a player. Richie is probably as close to an import D as it is in Britain, who's actually British.
Yeah.
Certainly if you spend the time to watch him skate, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Ben Davis, a real hard worker, a real terrier against the boards, tenacious.
I mean, he'd be good on the big ice as well. That's the thing. You got to
His
think about
speed,
because
manoeuvrability.
and his engine as well.
His ability to avoid contact, there are all those factors going for him.
It'll be interesting to see how many actually make the cut because obviously there are cuts to be made, aren't there? I mean, this is the initial squad,
Yeah,
not the final squad.
but
it'll be interesting to see
whether they make the cut or not, there's a lot of pride to be had by making the squad.
Definitely.
There
Call
seems
up,
to be a
yeah,
shift
absolutely.
as well, though. Credit to Christensen there as well, more to the sort of younger guys because there's
Yeah.
going to be a time that Tate's not going to be around.
There was no imports in there this time, was there?
No, there's not, is there? Cause
That chap who went last time who was awful, who's at an beginning with S and ended with Arich.
Oh yeah, he's well, shouldn't he? And Rempel's retired from now, isn't he as well?
I think unfortunately with that situation,
well, he retired
they expected him to step up,
years ago.
and he didn't play well, and unfortunately it showed up that just picking a guy because he was an import and no qualified doesn't necessarily mean he's going to play with the pride you need.
There's a load of new guys coming through, as you say. I mean, Christian, he's done his job, hasn't he?
He has.
He's not resting on the long staffs and the.
Yeah. Like them too,
Yeah.
Swindlehurst and McCluskey.
Yeah.
We like who's that chap from Hull we like, James? I know you like talking about him.
Do I?
Yeah.
Matty Davis.
Well, you always mention him.
Matty Davis.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah. You always say Matty Davis. What a player.
What a guy. Yeah. That's like him.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't go.
with his
because
hands
I
in his
Very,
face and-
had a very good season. Yeah. Good to see Toe make it back in as well. They get the call up.
Interesting to see. We got Lyle on there as well because I thought
Yeah.
Lyle had retired from
And me.
international duty, but
Bit surprised Esda didn't get in, but I don't suppose everybody can get in. But hopefully, in future he'll get a chance as well. Any other guys?
They've got to get promoted, haven't they? Really. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the,
Was anybody on the list that you particularly caught your eye, Eyelid?
no,
Or have we talked about them all?
all the new guys.
I can see him potentially playing with, with somebody like David Clark or something like that. Just with his, because he's playing with 10, isn't he?
Yeah.
Davies this year. So
Yeah,
another sharpshooter.
he's played with some real quality. One of the big things for me is the fact that we now have two absolutely outstanding netminders in Murphy and Bounds, who are both having tremendous seasons.
Yeah.
Real quality. We got guys who are as good as imports as netminders. They easily as good. Like Murphy has got to be up there as being possibly the top netminder in the league now, because.
He's in the top side of the league, isn't
Yeah,
he? So
it's difficult to judge directly, obviously, because Belfast are an excellent side this year, but still, he appears to be the top netminder in the league, because Kowalski doesn't appear to be quite where he was.
He hasn't come back from injury, has he?
Well, not particularly well.
Murphy. That's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's been winning all year.
He knows how to win as well now.
To the championships, he's a winner, isn't he?
Well, it's always nice to go into a Belfast match and actually score against him.
Yeah.
So
Is there any chance that Keith qualifies? Has anybody checked that? Maybe he's got some sort of British heritage somewhere we could use.
Keith,
Grandmother's cat.
I don't know. We've got Blight possibly, haven't we? Sort of.
Yeah.
But being able to apply soon.
Keith's one of those. He's one of those guys that I think if he played for you, he would play for the jersey. Because he always plays for the Belfast jersey. I just think he's one of those. I'm not even suggesting for a second he might even qualify at some point. I just think he's a tremendous player.
Keith, we haven't talked about this week.
No.
Isn't it 4 years and you qualify?
Something like that.
Yeah, you got to have some sort of heritage as well, haven't you? Yeah, no, because
Blight has got some heritage,
got
hasn't he?
Dual passport, hasn't he? He's got a GB passport.
I'm sure there's a residency thing if you're there 4 years in a country. I'm sure.
So, Kiefer, if you're watching, get on the dual passport thing. Grandmother's cat, uncle's dog, anything that qualifies you.
We're supposed to be insulting Belfast. We're supposed to be bigging them up. It's supposed to be baiting them.
The same, but last year last year I watched the Panthers side, and in the past I haven't always loved the Panthers side. I didn't like the style of play. I didn't like the gooning it up some of the time. But last year I thought they were absolutely fantastic, and this year I've watched Belfast, and they are a quality.
They're a class apart.
They're a class apart. They're real quality to watch. I enjoy watching them. I don't really enjoy watching them beat us, but I've enjoyed watching them play. And you can't take anything away from them.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be that far clear if they weren't a real quality outfit that plays as a team every night. So fair play to them.
I had some friends from work come down to the Belfast game the other week, and I said, we're probably not going to win. We still have a chance of winning, but you're going to see the best team in the league, and they're going to play some pretty hockey, and they all loved it.
Yeah, and a fantastic netminder. When you do, that's the thing. When you do finally get round their excellent defence, you then up against the wall anyway. And to beat Murphy, it's got to be something good to beat him now. So, all Bounds.
Belfast, they smell good.
Well, I think we can tie in the Bounds thing to the fact that we got Hull on Saturday, is it?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Away. You're on the way.
I am going.
The lure of the chip spice is calling you.
Well, it's one of my favourite visits of the year. They're all up in Hull. We always get a fantastic. We get a fantastic welcome in Hull. Always.
Hull and Braehead, two places I haven't been to, so I have to make it at some point.
You will need to. There's March 15th at Braehead, I think.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, if you look at it, I was going to say the Coventry and the Hull game big 4-pointers, but actually the Steelers one is as well.
They all are now for us. Because we're tight with everyone now.
It's a 4-pointer.
Yeah.
Every game's important. The after Hull managing to get a result on the weekend, and obviously Blaze didn't.
To be honest, those 3 games in 4 days is going to be a breeze for us now because the guys are going to be so fit having played.
They've had a little bit of a rest this week as well, which they needed.
This is it, isn't it? I mean, you got sort of the possibility of a long run of games like that. You get the injuries, but we've had the extra man or the extra 2 men in some cases for a while, and it means that they're sharp, they're fit. I mean,
we got the whistle effect as well.
Yeah,
and at least Hull isn't. It's a long journey, but it's not going up to Scotland.
No.
And at least we've got 2 home games in that, and I presume we'll have Friday off. The boys will have Friday off, and
we saw with the Marsh interview the other day. It's like it's asking, "Are you tired? Do you want to be rested?" He's like, "Well, I want to play." Yeah. Players want to play. They want to be on the ice.
Yeah. Nobody ever wants to rest. Like Gipters didn't look like he wanted to rest to me because he rode that bike. I thought the bike was going to break. So did you watch him on the bike?
No.
Well, he went on the warm-up bike. I think it must have been when, I assume it was when they said to me, you won't be playing, and he rode the warm-up bike as if he was trying to make himself feel as tired as he would have if he played.
Is this?
I thought that was an interesting. Sorry.
I was going to say, is this like a thing this season? Because we've had, was it Nottingham that came down and they had their spare import on the bike sort of half the game or something?
It's intimidatory. It empowers the team.
Does it?
It charges
Oh right,
something,
so it's got a little wire down to the.
But it's a great. Certainly, if you're into cycling, it's you'll see some of the guys ride the bike before, and some of the guys ride the bike after. It's it's a great way of getting some energy into the legs and getting your body warmed up, getting the muscles ready.
Nielsen always used to sit on the bike before the game and then knock out a few miles.
I'm not saying anything about Nielsen's bike. The boom boom.
Back on Tony's again, is it?
The
exercise bike.
so
Come on,
then we've
focus.
so we got Hull. I think that'll be a tight game again. They always are against Hull.
They're playing well.
They are.
Well, Hull have always seems to have been our bogey team for years now, haven't they? So they always seem to do well against.
We
us.
seem to do well against them there, and they seem to do well against us at home. So I think we've got to go up there, and we've got to believe, and we've got to go after it. That's all you can do, really. You've got with Bounds, you can fire 40 shots on him, and there's a fair chance he'll save almost all of them, if not all of them. So it's got to be quality.
He's got around 90% save percentage, isn't he? So that's been
Offer a ridiculous number of shots as well.
Steelers are beatable, aren't they? Though on the Sunday. I mean, we've had a good record against them this year.
I think they're.
When did we last play Steelers though? That's been that recently, is it?
It was when I just remember Phil scored, didn't he?
We beat them at home, didn't we? But I can't remember.
I think Phil scored in the tent the last time they were down.
It's been a while then.
So it'll be another welcome back for Phil, and we'll see him.
Yes, it was that.
That's right, yes.
And
yes.
we'll see him on the ice.
He was very pleased, wasn't he?
I don't know. They've been Steelers are up and down as well, but they are playing better lately. So I think all the games.
Lost 3 in a row, didn't they? But they played well apparently against Belfast.
I think all the games now that are coming up, particularly we've only got one game left against Belfast. Some of our rivals have still got a number of games against the top team yet. And if Belfast,
Belfast take the foot off the gas once they win the league.
I don't think they will.
That means that Paul Lady was saying that's one thing they mustn't do.
They want to try and build up a record points total.
It's not just that they got to keep the focus, and you can't start slipping going into the playoffs. That's when you really.
If they go into the playoffs and they've been losing games, then they won't win the playoffs. Yeah. And I think a team like that deserves the opportunity to win the playoffs. Yeah. Personally.
Yeah. Not over us, obviously, but you know.
No, but I think they've got to give themselves a chance of winning the playoffs.
What team do you support, John? Come on. All night it's been Belfast.
You know what it is? You've been intimidated by a couple of their fans, haven't you?
That's what it is.
Yeah. The boys from A View from a Bridge.
They've been,
yeah.
Well, there's some talk about, sort of mid-ice all-in rumble or something.
Yeah. I quite fancied that idea, but
that's a good theme actually with Mike Phillips and that bloke from crap band or not band.
The Beatles.
Voice thing.
Bring the other boys from the Beatles to training.
That was funny, that was.
It was.
But Paddy Power have put down 50k, not to advertise them. I don't know why I'm advertising paying agency, but
to make it happen.
In a ring to make it happen, and they'll put 50k down to charity.
Oh no, I was definitely up for.
Good PR from them, but
I would love the centre ice thing. Yeah. Well, last time I went to check-in practice with a hockey club, they suggested after one of the elite clubs, they suggested after a little while that maybe it was a bit too vigorous the way I was doing check-in practice. So I would love to meet centre ice and do some check-in practice. That would really suit me. Yeah. I don't think it'll happen though somehow.
It's got to be more fun than the third place game, isn't it?
No, respect to the guys who do the other programs, A View from the Bridge, and the guys at the Cat's Whiskers. We're all just trying to show our love for the game and for our teams in the way we do. Yep. So and respect to them for respect to them for what they do. I'm sure gestures then from the director.
I don't know what that's about.
Right then, so Sunday there's a shirt auction happening.
Black shirts.
I absolutely love those jerseys.
Nice, aren't they?
I would love the chance to win one of those jerseys.
I haven't bid for a couple of years.
My understanding is there might be a bit of player involvement at this auction as well, so I'm looking forward to it.
That's right. They're posing for photos, aren't they, or something?
Well, I'm hearing there could be more than that. So I think we'll have to wait and see what happens. Maybe a bit of player entertainment. Mac Faulkner apparently is quite a good singer, so I understand. So yeah. Can
you do the auction voice as well?
I'm sure he can.
Any go with the gavel?
There isn't much that I haven't seen. I don't know if you saw the end of the Premier Sports coverage when Matt came up behind Kirkwood when he was getting his man of the match.
I haven't seen it on footage. I saw him doing it when he was.
It was funny.
Sneak in on the camera.
Oh well, just in case there's anybody out there who doesn't know me.
Camera time.
Hey, hey, baby.
So that's great.
Coach Pope is at the Olympics.
Yeah, we did mention it last week, but now we've heard him, which is quite nice.
We have.
And it does feel like quite nice hearing a familiar voice there. And we know he's a fantastic commentator, isn't he?
He is,
So,
yeah.
that's,
It is great.
Is he dropping any doubles? I haven't actually heard any
I
yet.
haven't heard yet.
He's mentioned
No.
It's been the women's tour so far, isn't it? And
Probably Betty, doesn't
a
they?
lot of good insights. He's
Yeah.
there with Seth Bennett from Sheffield, isn't he? Who's doing the play-by-play. Brent's doing the colour stuff.
And obviously Brent is able to fill in with his his experience,
Yes.
which so he can help Seth out there with with his experience and knowledge, which is great. So yeah, I
Do
mean,
you reckon he's going to win this year then? Do you reckon Russia are going to take it? Men.
So I think you look at Russia's team, they could do it. It'll be interesting to see whether the pressure's too much. But they look up for it. I follow Ovechkin on Twitter, and he's been tweeting a lot more than normal. He looks quite excited.
I think a lot of the guys are up for it. You know, the Americans and the Canadians, we know they're going to be up for it.
I mean, it's less of an advantage for the US and Canadians because of the ice. You know, the smaller ice. They obviously had a big advantage in Vancouver, as we saw both of them get into the final. There's a lot of strong teams there. I think there's been a few injuries, unfortunately. Finland have been hit by a couple of injuries. Thingy's not going. Mikko Koivu's not going. Saku Koivu's not going because of he wants to concentrate on maybe the cup. I think Solani's captain. A couple of injuries as well. I think for Slovakia they've lost Gabrick.
As long as they don't call anyone up from Cardiff.
Yeah, right.
Because is
So Slovenia.
Oh, is it?
They'd be there, wouldn't they? Yeah. Andrei Kopitar for Slovenia. So, but there's been a couple of injuries for some of the sides that I think need a full team.
Yeah.
So I think we will see Russia, Canada, US.
Yeah, I think it'll be.
I like the look of the US team. They've got a lot of.
I think the old favourites will be there once again, vying for that gold medal.
Sweden will be good as per.
Yeah.
They haven't got Sedin though. One of the Sedins isn't going. So, but Lundqvist in goal. It's going to be really exciting. It starts today. Or it will.
It's a bit like All-Star. It's a bit like All-Star NHL, isn't it? A lot of it, or KHL. It's great to look forward to.
Yeah.
We are going to see the best players in the world, or a lot of the best players in the world playing. So it's a bit of a privilege, really.
Sorry to do this, but I went to Torino with Steve, who we'll segue to in a moment when we come to my socks. But and it was unbelievable. Like just watching it out there, and we kind of did want to go this time, but obviously it's a lot more logistically difficult than going to Italy.
Yeah.
But it is just phenomenal.
And maybe not quite as safe either.
Perhaps not.
No.
But
Allegedly.
Torino's great. We spent the week in the back of a Vauxhall Zafira.
As you do.
Nice.
And in minus sort of whatever degree temperatures.
My sympathies.
Right, show us your socks, Aled, because I'm pretty sure we're running out of time.
So these are courtesy. Oh, this is going to be a problem with the mic, isn't it?
No, just watch your lead. You got enough lead.
Courtesy of Steve, who joined us once on the sofa. Get well soon as well, Steve.
Is he not well?
Recently had his appendix out.
I didn't know this.
Oh dear.
So
So get well soon, Steve.
to him. But when we were together in New York, he very kindly bought these to me without me knowing for Christmas.
Oh.
Oddly enough, I also bought a pair for my father, not knowing that Steve had bought me a pair. So there were two pairs open Christmas morning. Anyway,
it's a sock family.
Anyway, here they are, my New York Rangers socks from the NHL shop. Thank you very much, Steve. And without really even thinking,
And
my underwear matches.
that could be Spider-Man underwear. We wouldn't know.
No, that's amazing, Aled.
That wasn't planned.
We don't need to know.
So a big thank you to our sponsors, Red Army Travel and the Drum Depot.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Brett at the Drum Depot. Brett, in fact, we've got to get Brett back on the programme soon, I think.
You can come and talk about the big clinic coming up there on March.
Ah, yes, they do. They have a drum superstar coming in, don't they?
It's the big Thomas Lang clinic. So anybody who knows much about the drums will know how big a star Thomas Lang is.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting, but we can talk about that again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And thank you very much, guys.
And Red Army Travel's going up, of course, on Saturday.
Yeah.
So brilliant.
Yeah, we're going up with Red Army Travel, so that Jon and G will, I'm sure, have organised another excellent trip, as they always do.
Yeah.
So lots to look forward to, and we're always made very welcome in Hull, so looking forward to seeing the guys up there.
Fab.
Right.
So
Thank
it's
you.
Good night from him.
It is.
It's good night from him.
What's that?
And it's a good night from you.
It definitely is. Got a curry to get to.